All right, Spurs win 115 and 108, led by Wembenyama. This is Buckets, Boards, and Banner. We got a special guest today. We got C Good here in the house. All right, C Good, how you doing, man? First
Hey, doing
time.
doing great. Very excited. Big win tonight. I'm loving it.
All right, man. We're gonna defer to you because you're actually out of all the three of us, you're the only one in San Antonio. So you kind of got the whole vibe and like what's everything going on in San Antonio. But Rob, how you doing today, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. My heart was going through it a little bit at the end of that game, but what a duel, man! What a duel between Wemby and Ant.
Yeah,
Huge game for
man.
both of them. Ant, good to see him looking like he's maybe not at 100%, but feels like he's looks a lot smoother, a lot cleaner out there. Big time battle that the fans got to see. So Spurs steal a win, take back home court in the series.
Yeah, I would say like as a Spurs fan, you hear that like before the game, you hear that Anthony Edwards is a little banged up. He's questionable to play the game. You're like, okay, like he's not 100%. But then you look at the stat sheet afterwards, and you're like, this dude had 32 points, 14 rebounds, 6 assists. That dude's an animal, man. Like what?
Yeah.
Then you're kind of wondering, is he really hurt? And then I think he is hurt, but bro, like to be hurt and have 32, 14, and 6 assists, that's crazy, man.
And that's being doubled like
Yeah,
75% of the time he touches the ball, right? Like I think rebounds, crazy rebounding game for him. But again, like he looks good, he looks great. Randall had an off night for them. I thought Gobert looked good out there. You're playing against Wemby. So I don't, not to think that 39 points just he was doing it easy, but there's not a lot you can do when he's out there hitting, and he shot well from three, shot well from outside of 18 feet. But man, I think another great one. I can't recall. Maybe game two is the only one this season really that has been kind of a dud in terms of competitiveness for the Spurs and the Wolves. Like every game they've had against each other has been a tough fight. So
yeah,
anxious to see game four now.
yeah. It's been a good series, man. So let me go over the stat sheet, at least the top four. So, Wemby had 39 points, 15 rebounds, 5 blocks, which is incredible. I think that I saw a stat after the game that he was up there with like Shaq and Hakeem Olajuwon, as far as like in playoffs and having these types of stats. Fox had 17 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists. We already mentioned Edwards, but I'll say it again: 32 points, 14 rebounds, 6 assists, and McDaniel's had 17 points, 7 rebounds. This game kind of took you on a roller coaster, and you're kind of wondering like who had the advantage. Mark, how did you feel like in the beginning, like especially in the beginning of the way it started with the Spurs? How did you feel about that?
It definitely felt good. It was a great momentum, and they had things going, and they were dominating. But good old Spurs. If you know the Spurs from the past 20 plus years, like they've lost a lot of great leads within the playoffs or even the regular season. But
Yeah,
yeah, you just got to be ready for the unexpected. So, but it's a good game. I think what's most exciting is San Antonio hasn't seen good games like this in a while. So,
Yeah.
there's going to definitely be a lot of hype for sure.
heck yeah, man. Like, definitely. Like, well, I think what we forget is like when you get into the playoffs like this, and you're playing really good teams like Minnesota. If you forgot, Minnesota's been to the Western Conference Finals the past 2 years. Like, this is a really good team, and they're gonna
Yeah.
make it tough. We're playing a great team. Um, like they're gonna make it. They're gonna make it hard. They're gonna give you their best shot. The Spurs, if they thought they were gonna play Minnesota and walk into just kind of like a cupcake series where they could just dominate, it's not gonna happen. I think if it was Minnesota or Denver, like both teams would be tough to play this series. Um, like it's just gonna be hard. Rob, like what do you think about um like so far with this series and what could happen like moving forward?
As competitive as 2 out of the 3 games have been, realistically, you're talking Spurs are a missed 3 away from being up 3-0.
Yeah,
That's a big change. I think, and coming back, I'd say, he's looked progressively more comfortable out there. Obviously, didn't play as well game 2 as he did game 1. And then you're talking one of Rudy Gobert's best offensive games tonight. Like, I thought he did really well finishing around the rim and, just with floaters and things like that. I think you're still looking at what can the Spurs do from their guards. Like, collectively didn't shoot great from 3. You had De'Aaron Fox, who came on late and played really well in the fourth quarter to help them pull that apart. But you've kind of, you haven't seen as much from Champagny. I'd love to see them get some more openings there. Denver saw, I think, hit timely stuff. But, again, I don't think the Spurs have played their best. I don't think the Wolves have played their best necessarily
yeah,
in the series. Next one, obviously, is probably, do or die for the Timberwolves. Like, you can't lose both of your games on a home court. And then, you want to try to extend the series even more. But I'd say, too, the Wolves look tired, like, at points tonight.
yeah,
And was on minutes restriction, and he played 38 minutes tonight, or 40, I think it was. So
yeah.
Finch had to go with who was there and who to score. I think it's going to come down to like who can hit shots. McDaniel's 5 for 22. I'm not upset, I think, about the misses, but man, like making Jaden McDaniels take 22 shots is probably the move that you want, right? Like that I think you got to feel good if you're the Spurs, taking it out of Ant's hands in key moments. Naz Reid, I think, has continued to step it up for them. I think they're obviously missing DiVincenzo and his shooting. Terrence Shannon, as good as he's been, I think what he had, 5 points tonight. He hit 1 3. I think there's just some guys that are not going to really make the Spurs guard on the perimeter much. I didn't see Mike Conley look like he sat I don't
He
know if there
did.
was an
Yeah, you didn't see
injury
him much at
or
the end.
something there. Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought that they would have wanted to go with him a little bit more. I think he's been pretty timely for them, but
He's hit
overall,
big threes like in crunch
yeah,
time.
yeah. He's what he gives you what you want from De'Aaron Fox, right? Like you get Harper in, and then you want De'Aaron Fox to kind of smooth the ship. I think the Spurs are going to have to continue to look at what do those non-Wemby minutes look like and what matchups can they get in there. The same way the Wolves need to look at what do non-Anthony Edwards minutes look like for them in terms of scoring. Randall just hasn't had it this series. I think he's looking to be aggressive and get calls, but he's just not finished the way he's used to. So it'll be interesting to see kind of what they do for game 4. I think you're going to continue to see doubles coming in Ant, and it's going to be, can Jaden McDaniels knock down some of these shots? Can Terrence Shannon knock down some of these shots that they're going to get?
Okay. Looking at like some of the other players besides Wemby, because obviously like 39 points, 15 rebounds, five blocks. That's amazing. But like, what do you? There's been a lot of talk about like foul baiting and stuff. What are your thoughts on and the only Spur that's come up to this point? Because there's been a lot of talk about that with the OKC Thunder. It's been Stephon Castle. Um, do you feel like he's kind of playing out of himself, or do you feel like it's just kind of part of the series? Rob?
I think Castle likes to be physical. He's played like that his first 2 years in the league. I think he's gotten more savvy this year in year 2. The thing I think with Castle I'd love to see is the emphasis on like finishing a play. I think he is much more concerned with creating the contact and finishing through it instead of finishing. And I think that's hampered him a bit, right? You could see today very focused on, I'd say this, like probably the best perimeter defender for the series for Minnesota has been Ayo Dosunmu. I think Jaden McDaniels, for all he's done,
He didn't even play game 1, yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't have the strength, but I think you saw a lot today. Dylan Harper, De'Aaron Fox, Steph Castle would get in there. He doesn't leave his feet. He doesn't swipe down. He doesn't bring his arms down. Like, he makes it very tough for them. And I think there's a lot of times when Castle is hoping or at least playing into that somebody's going to swipe down on him. I just want him to go get a bucket. I think he's quicker. He's explosive. He can get to the rim. I've been surprised by how hard it's been for the Spurs to score sometimes at the bucket, even when Rudy Gobert's not in there. Like, I think they've not shot well in some stretches from like a guard standpoint. So I'd love to see what they can do there. Castle in particular, I think, good for him. He got to the free throw line a lot. I think he's been inconsistent in his 3-point shooting, and mid range just was not falling for him today. I think you'll see a bounce back where he'll get more confident. But what I'd love to see for him and Fox is probably stopping anywhere in the mid range. You're talking, 8 to 12 feet and getting a floater or some type of, short shot in there over Gobert. But before they get too far in, I think Terrence Shannon and Dosunmu have, kind of guarded them close enough where they're getting a lot of offensive fouls called. So I think it's a change I'd love to see. But Castle just the contact, the physicality, I think as the playoffs go on, he's going to have to learn that those fouls that he was garnering in the regular season or round one just aren't going to come anymore.
Okay. Mark, as far as the vibes in San Antonio right now, the Spurs are just now up 2-1, and we know like it's been kind of a hard fought series. Like, do you feel like the vibes are up in San Antonio, or do you feel like they're kind of like scared or like worried about what Minnesota's got going on?
Dude,
Like, what do you feel like down in the streets? The vibes going on there.
Oh, dude, come on. The vibes are very high right now. Expectations are high. At least we get a win. You know what I mean? Like, everyone knows that the Spurs are a very talented team, even with these young guys. But, we got nothing to lose. So that's why the vibes here in San Antonio are just like, all right, we get a W, even though it's by 2 points. We're going to go celebrate, honking, go on the streets, great vibes and everything, community. But, the Spurs have a lot of talent, I'm not too of a purist of like how the game is played, but they definitely got a good environment going, and everyone knows that these new players, even though they're young, they can ball. They know what it has to take. Obviously they don't have experience though, but like they got nothing to lose, and I think for the city, like it's just been very exciting because we haven't felt this vibe since 2017 or so. And
yeah, man. So even though it's been like 9 years, man,
yeah.
do you feel like everybody's ready? Like, do you feel like it's been 9 years, but you feel like this team's ready? Or even though like the Spurs are going on a run right now, does it feel different than like it was in 2017 or even when they won in 2014 or 2007? Like, how does it feel back in San Antonio right now? Do you feel like it's different or like it's a new age? Because it's been a while since they won.
Yeah, it feels different because we've had Tim Duncan, Robinson, Sean Elliott, Avery, Ginobili, Parker, etc. for what, like since 1999 to 2014.
Since
So
that
that's already over like
1999
15
season,
years. Yeah. So we've had great, outstanding basketball program for 15 plus years. Expectations are like, oh, we're gonna win, we're gonna be in the playoffs, we're gonna dominate.
Yeah, it's like 25 years, bro. That's like 25.
Yeah. Right. And to lose that spirit and now it's back, it's just like, I think it's brought a lot of smiles and excitement to everyone's face, even me. Like I haven't, I could be excited for all kinds of needs. It could be like music, movies, or whatever passion I have. But for coming back to basketball, especially within my city, like man, it brings a lot of excitement and happiness to my life, and it's awesome. So, but yeah, that's all I can provide with that experience of how San Antonio is vibing, but it's vibing pretty hard right now. So
all right,
the Spurs have never, or San Antonio has never cheered on a young Spurs team.
Exactly.
Like
right.
there's always you think of like the championship teams, right? In '99, you had Tim come in, right? Second year, right?
97.
But yeah, David, you had Avery Johnson, Sean Elliott, like you had Chuck Person, like these guys are all elder statesmen, right? And even when you swapped out and go to 2014, now you're looking at the elder statesmen of Tim Duncan, you're bringing in Kawhi, you got these other guys. Like the Spurs have never cheered on, or San Antonio's never cheered on a team this young, right? Where it feels like you're building together. Like we haven't, you haven't been to the playoffs in 7 years, right? You haven't had to cheer on a team through this. So I think you get a lot of the posts where it's like, man, like act like you've been there before. And it's like the Spurs fans have, but at the same time, again, right? Like it's been a drought. you knew that you were trusting the process, but like you've seen this process. How is it played in Philadelphia, right? How is it played in other areas that have tried to build this out over time? And now
Yeah.
you got it with the Spurs. You've got a generational, and I mean, I think generational is even speaking lightly on Wemby. Like he is a transformational type player, right? Like there will not be another guy of his caliber. And now you throw in like grind and grit guys. I think the other piece of it too, like there's not pop in the equation, right? Like this is entirely new to the Spurs team, like new majority owners, new things going on with arenas. Like there's just so much where
They got a lot going on.
the vibe is different there than it was in the past, but it's a good connector. I think you're having families or teams who didn't like get to cheer on together now cheering here now, right? So I think that's just to me how it feels different. It's like, man, and I think like there was probably a lot more people rooting against the Spurs as they were like in 10 years ago and 20 15 years
Yeah.
ago when they're winning championships, whereas like I think Wemby has become a player that like everyone loves. Like there's not a consensus of like, hey, like we don't like watching this guy, right? He doesn't get SGA type of hate online.
I think right now, yeah, he will, but like that could change pretty soon. But like
Yeah.
right now, the villain is like OKC and all that foul baiting and stuff. Like the Spurs, if they keep winning, eventually they're gonna be like, well, yeah, like they're gonna be the villain. They're gonna be the like, yeah, of course you should win. You got a 7'5" guy that can just go out there and dominate. Like you should win and. I feel like they're the darlings for a little bit now. I think they're the darlings now to beat OKC, but once they beat OKC, like who's going to be the darlings after that? Like people gonna choose OKC or are they going to pick the Spurs? So you don't like it changes fast. Like the way things going in the NBA, as far as like people who they're picking, it could change fast. So. Looking ahead here, what are you expecting for Game 3? I'll go with Rob and then Mark. Like, what you think after that? So, Rob,
Game
what
4?
are you expecting for?
Game
Game 4.
four.
We just switched to Game 3. Game 4 for Spurs and Timberwolves.
This is a back against the wall kind of game. Fans up here would say, hey, they came back for they lost a 3-1 lead last year to OKC, I think it was. Like the Wolves are a team that can come back. Like they're not a typical 6 seed. I think they played very underwhelming in the regular season. Have been great in the postseason. I think you'll see a really aggressive style of play, which I don't think is different from how Minnesota is going to go at Wemby. I think the Spurs will continue the 2-man double teams and traps coming to Ant, and I think both teams are going to shoot better. Like that start of the third quarter was really fun to watch with both teams.
Oh yeah, they're just hitting
back.
3 after 3. They was just swapping shots.
I just think you've got 2 games in a row that you for spurts that you led here in Game 3, but you lose what could have been double digits like very easily. I think the Spurs have a ton of momentum now. I see them coming in here and stealing both games from the Timberwolves. I think it's another dog fight, but I think the Spurs just pulled out the end. Like their confidence is just at an all-time high. And the breakout player for next game, like I really expect something really good from De'Aaron Fox. I think he showed flashes of it. I think they will get him to start off hotter than he has. And I think the Spurs are going to shoot the ball a lot better than they did today.
Okay. Mark, see good as a Spurs fan. Like, what are you looking for in Game 3, man, in Minnesota?
Well, Game 4. Yeah.
I said Game 3 again. Game 4. I'm still stuck on Game 3 because it just ended. But yeah, Game 4
is a damn good game. For Game 4, I think Minnesota is definitely going to come out with some fire. I believe. Well, we all know that Ant is he can be an assassin. Like he's a smart guy. Obviously, he's injured, but he knows how to make some quick moves, and he has a great shot. I think he's definitely going to do a lot of studying tonight and tomorrow, and he's going to try to bring it. You know, they want a championship too. Every team wants a championship, so they're going to come out firing. Spurs, they're talented. They know what it's got. You know, like I always say, people say they need the experience and they just need to just get the win. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't need to be a blowout or anything, but I think they're going to have more confidence too. So it's going to be hard for Minnesota to come back from this. But hey, we'll see you on Sunday.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. I don't know if y'all follow like a lot of these other media outlets, but Kendrick Perkins seems to be a big a big
Minnesota advocate.
wow,
Let's see what
Minnesota
he
like
says. Yeah,
he's been a Spurs fan. He said they were gonna win the championship. Then after game one, he jumped
he
ship
turned
and
away.
said,
Yeah.
hey, Minnesota's got that dog in them. Let me let me go to Rob first. Like what do you think of that? Like with him like after game one saying that Minnesota is gonna win the series. Are
Look,
you
I like Minnesota is a
your
great
thoughts?
team, and they're only down one game. It's 2-1. I get it. There's a lot left to play. I just think the amount of like flip from the Spurs after losing by 2 points with the horrible shooting and
Yeah,
offensive
they
games that
played
were had.
terrible,
Like
terrible
I
game.
just think having it like literally having a chance to win it at the buzzer and just missing like an inch to the right, and the Spurs are up 3-0 right now, right?
Ooh, ooh,
So
three
I think
three oh.
I
That's
think
nasty
I
though.
think it's
Yeah.
crazy to see the switch on there, and I saw a couple others. I think Gilbert Arenas on his podcast like had said, "Man, there's no way they're winning." And then Kendrick, I think, stayed with his pick of the Timberwolves. Now, they're tough, man. They're tough. I think you got to look at the issues that they had all season. They turn the ball over a lot. They don't have scoring depth when it comes to not having that on the floor, and on defense, while they're dogs, like they foul a lot. They are over aggressive at times. And it's still easy to get Rudy Gobert out there in a pick and roll and make him move his feet a little bit more than he can do. So, um, yeah, like I thought it was a big overreaction for anyone to kind of call out with the Spurs, especially how dominant they were to
Especially
finish that Portland series.
especially if you've been going with them all year,
Yeah,
and after one game and
Mhm.
just jump ship and be like, you know what, I'm going with the other team because of one game they did
yeah,
against
yeah.
a different team, not the team that they played against. Because well, I don't know, just one game and just that was uncalled for. I was just
Yeah.
so shocked. Rob, you got? I mean, Mark, you got anything on that? Like with Kendrick Perkins and all that?
Yeah, well, I feel like he should know better because come on, round one, that series was rough to watch. Like obviously the Spurs were down by 20 points for like what 2 3
Nobody could hit,
games.
right?
No one
Yeah.
could hit,
Yeah.
but hey, after halftime, their Spurs came up. They were fired up and they came through. They made it happen. So that's why like anything's possible. Like the Spurs are a great team. Like what team has done that before? They've been down for
Yeah.
18 to 20 points and they come out firing and their confidence is built up. Even guys who are you know like like Harper, come on, like that was just outstanding. And other people have stepped up. Like even Fox, like he's had a rough time with finding some momentum, but when he's on fire, like it's non-stopping. And that's why I'm like Perkins. Come on, you've seen this team when they're down to lowest, and round one was very stressful compared to round two
Yeah.
right now. That's for sure.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I mean, the last thing I want to go over. So last time me and Rob got on here, we were making like predictions for this series. And I know it's only two games, but Rob predicted the Spurs Wolves. He picked the Spurs 4-1. Rob, you still sticking with that?
Yeah, I'm sticking 4-1.
All right, I picked the Spurs 4-2, which I hope you're right, but it could happen. Mark, since you're on here, Mark, what's your prediction for this series?
Oh, 4-1 easily. Yeah.
4-1, Mark. Okay. All right, I'm gonna write it down. All right, guys. So I guess as far as this, like we'll see. The next game is Sunday. We'll see how it goes down in Game 4. So, for Buckets, Boards, and Banner, and on behalf of C Good for showing up here tonight. He's down in San Antonio. He's kind of has the pulse of the city, so he kind of lets us know what's going on. So, thank you, Mark, for jumping on here tonight. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.
Laters.
Later.